I'm just literally streaming a black screen. Everybody's probably thinking, what am I doing? Well, I had a plan,
Yeah, as
don't
you can
worry.
see from that play we saw a couple seconds ago, the black screen, you know,
It was
the
one of my
rotation is really
favorites.
non-existent.
It was definitely one of the better ones I've seen. Yeah, how's it going, guys? Here with Kronovi, the LAN boy, yet again. How does it feel?
Dude, took me forever to be a LAN boy. I had to wait till the very last event of the year.
It was pretty good, though. I was enjoying that. All right, Crow, are you ready to do this? I think I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
I just needed to make sure that Brian was not going to say anything, and I'm pretty sure we shut him up. But just to give a little bit of background for this, wait a minute. I'll pull the bracket off. Why is it this size? Hold on. This is the bracket of RLCS, just to remind you guys once again. We have skipped a lot because I didn't want to do too many reviews. But Method and Galeforce, for anybody who didn't know, for the 3 people who don't know, they did meet in the winners finals, and it was 4-3. And spoiler alert, this is going to be a little bit less of a close series. But Crow, did you watch the 4-3 as well as the grand finals?
I didn't get to watch a lot of the 4-3. I got to watch like the last few games of that best of 7 series. Weren't they all like within 1 goal? Like they were all really close, weren't they?
Yeah, it was super close. Super close. So these teams, they did the same thing in the winners finals of the EU playoffs. They went to 7 games, and I think that Galeforce had a mini little, run, a little streak.
Johnny, I have missed.
Brian is still talking.
Win this BC. I gave him like $450 in bits, and he said he bought himself some muffins.
No, one of the reasons I think I would attribute Galeforce sweeping was that this is Method's 14th game in a row.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about that because this is the first RLCS where, oh my goodness, I can't believe Brian's just tilted me off the face of the earth. Hold on, focus. So yeah, this is the first RLCS that a team from loser bracket actually won loser finals. Because before that, Northern Gaming lost 2 and NRG lost the other one. They came from winners finals, lost, then lost losers. So Method, what do you think they did? Or how did they manage to win losers finals when every other team had failed, especially because they were 2-0 down against Cloud9, and I think they were also at 2 all-in games. They were losing 3-0 in game 5, so they had a couple of ridiculous comebacks.
I don't know. I think in the losers final, like Method's one of those teams that can dig deep and like really no matter what they're going to try their best. But I think that really tired them out. Like getting to the grand finals almost sealed their fate that they'd be too tired to go against a fresh Galeforce.
Yeah. And what? Just because you played at the
while I still continued you a quadragentillion 6.
I'm skipping alerts, guys. Don't do that. King Spectre, my mod, is trolling me. But hold on. So I was gonna say, how would you compare that format to E-League, which you just played at? Obviously you won E-League, so you're probably gonna be pretty happy with that. But as a format, how would they compare, or how do they compare?
I mean, the most you could have possibly played at E-League would be 2 best-of-7s back-to-back, which is what we did.
Yeah.
And I think 2 best-of-7s back-to-back is fine. The team going into the second one hot actually gets the advantage, whereas Galeforce had to wait for our match, so we got like a little bit of advantage in game 1, I'd say.
Right. Yeah.
But 3 best-of-7s back-to-back-to-back, I think is too much.
Or even 4. If Method are going to go win this whole thing, they need to win 4 best-of-7s back-to-back. Which is pretty crazy. It's not an easy format. It's doable. I mean, I actually heard Squishy say on his stream that he thought that it was an advantage. I don't know if he was just saying that because he was on the losing end of the losers finals. But he thought it was an advantage that Method were coming off another game before playing them.
I could see that, but then it's not an advantage going into Galeforce. It's like an advantage, then they need a break, otherwise it's detrimental.
Yeah. So maybe like...
And I mean, especially against Galeforce, they're so fast. Like, you're going to get really tired out a lot more than like another team would.
Sure, yeah. Oh yeah, you don't know how little boost you're going to have till you play versus Galeforce, then you're like,
right. Well then,
I have not had boost for an entire minute, and this is really not very fun. The Method are a pretty fast team as well. The one thing I've heard Metza tell me about Galeforce, and this was a difference between Galeforce and PSG in his opinion, was that he feels you can make mistakes against PSG and still win, but you can't make mistakes against Galeforce. Would you agree with that as someone else who's played against these teams a fair bit? Like twice each, I believe? Because you beat PSG...
I could agree.
You played PSG once
Like,
or twice? Sorry. Just
I played PSG
at RLCS, yes. And I don't know, you didn't play
at
really.
RLCS, but that was it. We played
Gale Force
twice and Gale Force twice.
Yeah.
But against PSG, I mean, they tend to try to play. Oh, what a double!
That's so good. With the control.
But against PSG, like they tend to they go for these long, big redirect plays with Bluey, where he'll kind of like fling himself with the ball and hope to do something crazy. But if he doesn't hit it, you get like some time where it's okay to make the PSG back. Whereas against Gale Force, they tend to really set up like a read. Like they, I didn't see that.
It's a bit lucky, but yeah, Turbo.
But against Gale Force, they have really good reads. So if you make a mistake, they know you're about to make a mistake, and then they pounce on it a lot more. Like they want you to make a mistake. They're ready for you to make a mistake. It's not like PSG, which is proactive. Or like, okay, we're going to make a play so good that you can't stop it, versus Gale Force, which is, I think, a little more reactive. Yeah,
that's true. And that's actually one of the reasons why I said I thought it doesn't matter that Gale Force are losing Gnarly. It doesn't matter that they're losing all these other LANs. I was pretty sure when it came to RLCS, their playstyle would suit RLCS a lot more, because teams just get more nervous at RLCS. And they make more mistakes, lower points per game. They're just overall, in my opinion, worse performances, less reliable. That kind of makes it, I think, more difficult for teams like PSG to win, because they rely on their plays working. When Gale Force, they just wait for an opening and then they take it with brute force. Like, their goals are not as often the highlight goals, although they do get them. Like K-Dot's first goal here was solid, but it wasn't.
But the second goal here was just them shooting on net over and over until the Method players stopped challenging the ball. I think that's going to be a lot of Gale Force's goals in this series is Method just not keeping up the pace like they need to.
And K-Dot.
They need to go out there and cut off things.
Do you remember K-Dot's performance here?
Yeah, and every single pass to the mid that K-Dot received, he boomed it in the net.
Yeah, it
was ridiculous. And you really have to cut those off against Gale Force.
I think the problem, or one of the problems teams have against Gale Force, is they are so capable of scoring from so many different ways. Like Cloud9, usually infield passing was their main way of scoring. Method prefer like counter-attacking. Gale Force, they can do like infield passing, like backboard plays, just keep shooting until the other team runs out of boost, counter-attack. They've kind of got the best repertoire out of any team.
They've even got solo plays too. You know, they're not afraid to go for double touches or air dribbles or fakes. They're all individually kind of scary.
So what do you think? Because you played them... Well, you did play them at RLCS, and they beat you 3-0 or 3-1? 3-0 or 3-1?
3-1, I think?
I can't remember. It was definitely 3-0 or 3-1. Oh, it was 3-1. It was. Yeah, it was. So what was that like, if you remember?
Well, the only time we had played them before that was actually at X Games in the summer. So we watched some VOD footage, but it really didn't prepare us for how fast they were. And oftentimes we got scored on because we didn't have somebody cutting off a pass because that person's back in net with no boost.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We got outpaced, I think, and it just resulted in free passes to K-Dot, which resulted in free goals.
And there's going to be
the second time we played them, we really tried to speed up a lot more so we could always have boost, and that helped.
I was going to say, there's going to be a big debate now, or maybe at the end of the year, for like who was the best player in Gale Force throughout this year, because surely the best player in Gale Force is the player of the year. Do you want to weigh in on that one? Because you've seen them play a lot. Like, even like you said, back at X Games, they were, coming second place at that LAN, coming second place at DreamHack Atlanta, second place DreamHack Summer. And all those guys did actually play, apart from Turbopulsa, in EU League Play Season 3. And of course, Turbopulsa won Season 3. K-Dot lost Season 3 by 1 game. Like, who would you say overall had the best year? Maybe even performance-wise.
It's actually so difficult. I mean, I feel like Turbo's position and the way he played at E-League is actually a little bit different. He was like way more aggressive, in my opinion, stealing boosts, like running to the other side for boosts, looking for demos a lot more. And I liked it, but K-Dot's, he never changed his position. He he's kind of a little more back than usual. He's the one making the crazy saves. And I don't know. I'm like almost 50-50. I'm like 51 to K-Dot and 49% to Turbo. Like that's how split I am.
Yeah, it's a really tough one. I think if you were to remove one player from, or if you took, you know, turns removing one player from Gale Force and replacing them with just any other good player, I think the hardest one to replace would be Turbo, because of the work that he does for that team. Like he saves them a lot when they're like struggling and they just barely eke out a win. It's Turbo who's carrying, and then K-Dop when they're like dominating tends to pop off a lot more, and Panda could fall into that category as well. I would say that's why Turbo, I think, to the team is the standout player. But in terms of like a 2017, like K-Dop has just been popping off. It's really hard to pick between those two, like you say, K-Dop and Turbo. Because K-Dop won the Universal Open as well with Panda, the 2v2. He's just had so much money.
And I think there's talk for Panda too. He's not, I think, in the limelight as much because he's so aggressive. He's the one who gives all the space to Turbo and K-Dop. Like he's the one winning the hard 50-50s. He's the one winning the ball in the midfield that pops it to K-Dop or something.
Yeah. And they're a weird team. Nobody ever talks about them and their, you know, nerves. Nobody, and you know, their you know, personalities so much as other teams. Like I've always seen analysts and people trying to, you know, just talk about the sort of human interactions that teams have on stage, because that's really interesting. Or like in Cloud9's case, the lack thereof. But Gale Force, they're in a weird spot because they are kind of, when they're playing, they're a bit robotic, but they obviously do have that sort of, you know, yelling and getting hyped when they score. So I think they're in a pretty good spot there. The three seem to blend very well together. They just function. I would put it down to them being excellent colleagues. I think they understand that this is a job, and they're all just here to help each other succeed. They're not, you know, trying to steal each other's thunder or anything, which could happen in another team of all-star players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're talking a lot here while Gale Force are just kind of strangling
all these 50-50s from K-Dop. That one goes in, does it? No, it doesn't. Like the first goal was just because K-Dop won a challenge in the midfield, and it went right to Panda, who happened to be upfield because he had challenged previously.
Managed to just drive by, doink it in. That was such a good pass.
That was a very good pass.
Yeah,
like he could have shot this and maybe got it in if he hit a top left corner, but he doesn't need to make it that difficult for himself.
Yeah. Let's take both the goalies out of the game. That's a huge pass. Is that the first? No, the second goal now that Panda or K-Dop hasn't scored in the series.
Right.
And like with a bit of, just in case I forget to talk about it at the end, because I think it is very interesting. What did you think about Turbo giving K-Dop the MVP medal? Because of course Turbo got the MVP medal, which, you know, I think there's plenty of reason to give him that. But yeah, what do you think about Turbo giving that away to K-Dop in the winner's ceremony?
I mean, maybe from his, K-Dop was doing more for the team. He was playing next to him and playing in the games, and maybe K-Dop was doing things behind the scenes, like on stage or backstage, that people couldn't see. So I could like respect Turbo's decision to want to give the MVP to K-Dop, even though maybe as a third-party spectator, people thought K-Dop was doing more for the team. Yeah. Or Turbo was doing more for the team.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a lot going on behind the scenes that players aren't aware of in every team. Yeah, this is where it started looking kind of desperate for Method. I've heard a lot of, I think it was Turtle told me that he thinks in a best of 5, game 2 is the most important game. What would you say is the most important game in a best of 7? Of course, they're all very important, but if you had to say this is the game that we have to win, what would it be? You know,
in a best of 7, I think it's at any point where you are like 2 games away from your opponent. So if you start 0-2, you need to win the next game.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to go to match point for the reverse sweep. If it's like 1-1 and then they suddenly go to 1-3, you know, of course that matters. But like the 2 goal difference, you don't want to get too many games behind your opponents. 1 game behind is fine, but 2 is not okay. You really need to equalize.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And this is kind of that point for Method, because game 3 or game 2 is looking so far in Gale Force's favor. And they've got to be thinking now, all right, we need to win the next one, or else this could just be over. Because how are we supposed to win 4 in a row against Gale Force?
And then win another best of 7.
Yeah.
Because the reverse sweeps are tiring.
Yeah. Have you ever had that you know, requirement to win a double best of 7 before in your career? Because you had a single best of 7 win for season 1.
I don't think I'd ever worry about a bracket reset best of 7.
Yeah.
What a touch.
pretty good recovery there by Turbo. He actually did something that I remember. I heard you talk about over a year ago. In fact, I think I was just watching your stream and somebody asks,
I agree.
Oh, I'm skipping. Shut up, Brian. Somebody asks, how do you hit double touches? And all he said is, the first thing you need to do is get your car pointing upright after you jump off the wall. Just start climbing, or else gravity's gonna kill you. And that's pretty much the Turbo did. He's just like, okay, I'm off the wall now. I kind of want to keep flying. Let's just point up, and then we'll figure out how to rebound it after we've stabilized.
Yeah, he didn't have to worry about getting there incredibly fast because Method had kind of overcommitted looking for a goal.
Yeah, 2-0. One of the fans literally doing Resident Sleep. Two of them are doing Resident Sleeper. They're all, look at this. They're all Resident Sleepering. Come on, NA.
And people were sick of Gale Force. They were like, oh no, EU final, Gale Force again, Resident Sleep.
Hey, do you know that NA have never lost a grand final of a major Rocket League tournament to EU while they're in grand final together? All the tournaments EU have won have been against EU. Like season 2, 3, 4 of RLCS was all EU. The Universal Open was EU over to EU. DreamHack Summer was EU over to EU. So then the only
the other coincidences?
What's that?
Looking to win against EU in grand finals.
What's there? I think you cut out. Say that again.
Season 1 and then E-League, the other two remaining that were NA EU grand finals. Oh no, Cloud9 at Gnarly.
Cloud9 at Gnarly, Cloud9 at
DreamHack.
Atlanta, NRG at X Games.
God, I'm retarded.
5 times in a row. NA's beaten EU in grand finals. So like
that's actually crazy.
If if it's like losers finals, NA versus EU, then EU just win. But if it's or semi-final EU versus NA, EU seems to be like heavily favored historically. But grand finals NA versus EU, NA wins 100% of the time, 5 out of 5, including E-League that just happened, which is pretty nuts if you ask me. And I think a large part of that's got to be that all 5 of those LANs have been in America. That's where the crowd really pops off. The grand final, they start making mad noise, and teams are obviously going to get more nervous because it's grand final.
Some teams seem impervious to nerves. Like you look at Gale Force, and you're just like, oh yeah, they. It's almost like you don't know if they care about the game or not because they almost have no emotion. Yeah. Up until like the very end.
What do you think about that? Do you watch other esports as well as Rocket League? And the one that specifically comes to mind is Smash. Because it's just such a such a personal esport. Like all the pros are just right there beside their opponent, and you're 1v1ing. There's no one you can throw the blame on but yourself if you lose. Maybe some people throw it off to character imbalance or lag. I don't know, lag on LAN, right? But if you're in that personal situation, a lot of Smash pros, they, instead of just trying to be robotic, of course some guys are more robotic, some of them try to like get really, really hypey and hype themselves up and get that adrenaline. And I don't think that any Rocket League team has used that to the maximum potential except maybe Flipside Season 2. So is that like in the future for Rocket League, do you think? Teams are just going to start getting way more loud and way more confident on stage?
Maybe. I mean, it might come down to what a 1v1. The individuals. Some individuals are just quiet, and I don't know if they're gonna want to break out of their shell. Maybe like their comfort zone is being quiet.
Oh my goodness.
There's the 1v1 play. Kato's been winning every 50-50 this game. Like any one-on-one situation, he's won. It just so happened that this happened in front of the net. So when he won, it went in the net.
Pretty nice. But yeah, you.
I see Gale Force with 3 players in the play almost every time. Unless there's a shot on net, like 3 people are ready to be a part of the play, and they understand their rotation's interesting. But all of the players know what's up. They know who's going for the ball. If somebody's going to cut sideways and break rotation, the person that would have had the ball moves to a passing location instead.
This kid up just brutalizing Method. I mean, when I was watching this live, I was just like, why is K-Dop drilling absolutely every shot top corner a million miles an hour?
Like, I hit that ball and it went in.
Yeah. It's just brutal. That guy, it's not just in this game that he does this. He's like better than anybody else in the world at doing that, in my opinion. Just the shot consistency is just absolutely absurd. I don't know how he does it. Even when you play against him or with him in ranked, every time that he's got an open net shot, it's just blasted into the net. You never have a chance. Like, you know when you're playing ranked and then the opponent's got an open net and you think, he might miss. You know, I'll head back there, and then they kind of miss hit it, and you get an on the line save. That never happens against K-Dop. It will fly in so fast you can't. You're not even close. It's I don't know. It's insane.
There's a good 50-50 from Mets going under turbo. I think that's one thing that kind of worked against Gale Force a little bit. Was they're preparing for the best possible play. So if you shoot it just off the awkward position where they didn't make a save, but they're not ready for the next shot. So when that happens, it really throws them off. Because K-Dop wasn't ready for it to bounce off the crossbar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it showed there some interesting. Like you said that the Gale Force have interesting rotations, and you're definitely not wrong. They do kind of like break rotation a lot, but since they understand what each other's doing, it doesn't matter. Well, that was a bit careless by Magnus. You should have seen that coming. The other thing that they all do differently is goalkeeping style. They're all very different in goal. Violent Panda likes to be off the side of the goal, making flying saves across the net. K-Dop likes to be in the goal, coming out of it.
He likes to react to it.
Yeah,
and Turbo, I think Turbo just pre-jumps everything.
He's just always up. But they all make it work in their own way. K-Dop is like a super heavy ball cam user, and obviously like one of the best players in the world. Turbo and Panda, when they're dribbling, they like to turn it off. There's different styles that these guys have been able to make work, and nothing is really, after an entire year of playing together, stood out as, okay, this is the one that is the best. Like, they're all just a very well-oiled machine. And so one of the teams in Europe that actually does scrim as well is GFE, the other one being Method. I don't think any other team in Europe has scrimmed much this year. One thing at NA definitely does better, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. First ball cam on for a lot of these, so you could actually see that difference between how much K-Dop actually uses ball cam and how much the other players maybe don't. Because with forced ball cam, it's just everything. Like going for bumps or something, the camera just gets all wonky and backwards. You're like, why is he flipping into their net? It's like he's looking for a demo.
Yeah.
But you don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know because it's right there. Yeah, Method at this point they're like they're in a really bad spot, obviously, because K-Dop has just scored 2 really good goals.
And now Gale Force is kind of backing off. They're not they're not looking for goals. They're just running down the clock. And all of Method's touches, like that's really good. They need to do that more, or needed to. A lot of their touches are just them playing ping pong with Gale Force, where they respond to Gale Force's pass with a boom clear instead of a pass of their own for a counter attack.
Yeah,
because Gale Force are great at turning a counterattack play into like a pass play really quickly.
Yeah, they love to intercept those passes. Never seen double commits. I mean, it's Method panic station time. They're just getting pretty worried, rightfully so. I don't like these clears, like you're saying. They're very just kind of direct down the middle. K-Dop just sitting here waiting for it. Never going to get past him. Yeah, we all kind of knew when this game went in Gale Force's favor that was his GG's. Like, sorry Method, you've played a great tournament. You did a phenomenal job coming back from 2 down against Cloud9, but coming from 3 down against Gale Force and winning another best of 7 is a whole other ball game.
I like how they went for a pinch there in the midfield to try to boom it into the net at 0 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know who, I think it was a lot maybe. He was like, hit it into me, and he like flipped at the ball.
Oh, pinches are going to be like so much more popular as Rocket League advances, I think.
I think more people are going to try to get those aerial pinches too. Like, remember what Ghost did at Gnarly on Gale Force? Mid-air pass? Gale Force almost did it to us at E-League in that very last game. I was in net and I didn't like consciously, but like after they missed the ball, it's like, oh my god, that almost happened to me.
Yeah. And even like ground pinches are so easy to do. Like, you can just call them before it happens. You're like, oh, both players see it happening, pinch, goal. I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more in competitive play, and I think honestly one of the reasons why it doesn't is because players are quite you could call it stubbornness, you could call it pride, but players are quite proud of their dribbling. Nobody likes to be seen pushing the ball in front of them, because that's like newbie, just have the ball in front of you and you're pushing it. That's quite newbie to do, or at least that's what people consider to be newbie. But that's the best way to force a pinch, just literally push the ball in front of you at a teammate, then he flips into you. But, we don't see it very often, because pros are pretty good at keeping the ball on top of their car, and going for a flick is more meta. So I don't know, players. I think for pinches to be more popular, players need to intentionally drop that ball, start pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because of all these major events as well. People have been hesitant to try new things, but
yeah,
during the off season where there's a lot less on the line, you might see it more.
Pinch goal only mode. That was a super risky kickoff by Gale Force Panda turning
but
upfield.
Was that a lot? He like just had the misread. He flew so far away, and he was on their back wall. While Mets has no boost. I don't know how he won that 50.
Yeah, I'm not going to
They're
back it up
all
again.
over each other.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Gale Force like trust in each other as well. They just have that faith in each other's plays. That the sort of thing that you want to have in a teammate is when your teammate goes up for something, you don't think, he's probably missing that. They just go,
no,
I see what you're trying to do here. I'm with you. They just have the belief.
I mean, Method. I think this was the game that looked the closest because this one that went to the very long OT.
Yeah.
This is where Method kind of realized, okay, this is our last game. You know, we want to at least take a game in the grand finals, so let's play how we should. And aside from that first minute where there was lots of like double committing and awkward positioning, it's like they rallied, and they're really starting to push one person up, get Gale Force to bite on it, and then the other two people can make a pass play as long as they have boost.
Yeah. And there's one other thing I was going to ask you, which is definitely relevant with these two teams, is 1v1 ability. You mentioned earlier just the individual talent, but besides just having individual ability, like 1v1 is something that K-Dop is exceptional at. Turbo in the past was exceptional at. I don't know if he's still at the exact same level, but I'm sure he's still very, very good. I think Panda is a top 100 player if he wants to be. And the only one on Method who's a top 100 player I think is Metza a lot, and Magnus a lot further down. And do you think the 50-50 game or the sort of other aspects of ground play take a hit because of that? The fact that Gale Force has such a huge advantage.
I think Gale Force were winning so many 50-50s near the ground that they just kept possession up all the time, and that really stressed Method out. And I think it would just come down to them identifying that they need to be faster, and they don't need to worry about getting it past or through Gale Force at a perfect angle or on the net. They just need to get around Gale Force. Just keep possession, you know. Gale Force does a good job of realizing, oh, I'm first to this ball, but he might get a piece of it, so I'm just going to hit it off the wall. And that was bad positioning by Panda. Yeah. Very rare. But he likes to go off the wall, like you said, and it was his comfort zone, but that's not where he needed to be.
It was a miss by K-Dop as well. He came back. They do like to cheat up behind each other. It's not something unusual to see, like right there from Panda, where you know, comes right up behind. He's hoping K-Dop wins a 50-50 off that wall, and then he can follow up.
Well, there's so much trust because the players are so good, you know. It's very rare to see a mistake like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to be too down about that, even though there is a mistake. I mean, that's something I think PSG more than another team can learn is when they mess up, they look so down, they look so upset, and it's sort of contagious. You know, and it grows arms and legs and just starts making the entire team play much worse. Which worked out great against you guys at RLCS because they just capitulated. It was
it's impossible to play perfect though, like all the time. Like, you can have a perfect game, but I think it's difficult to have a perfect series.
At least right now.
Wow.
I think
is this?
Oh well, it doesn't matter. Like, I was like, K-Dop just missed, but he had a split second to. Like, there is between the miss from the opponent and him repositioning to shoot that is all the time he had to put that shot on net, and he still puts it straight into the bar and up again to rebound it. He's just so consistent.
Yeah, it was a really good counter, and I think it was because I don't know who a Method double committed with the person on the sidewall, but they just got really antsy. You know, like they're up one, they don't need to be pressuring that hard. Yeah. They have a lead.
Is it hard against a team like Gale Force when you have a lead to just kind of be
comfortable
controlled?
with it?
Yeah, just be okay with a one-goal lead.
I definitely struggle with that at E-League where we're up on Gale Force, and I'm thinking, okay, like this isn't enough. We need like 4 goals.
Were you up
by
3 in the grand final or the final game? 3-0. And then you came back to 3-2, or they came back to 3-2.
It was 2-1 then 3-1.
2-1 then 3-1.
And then it was 3-2. But still, I never feel like 2 goals is enough. I'm usually happy with 3 or 4. But JNFs did a good job over comm saying, like, you know, we have the lead. He just kept reminding me we have the lead. We don't need to worry about it.
That's interesting.
Sometimes that's all you need in those comms is just a reminder.
Especially, I don't know I didn't check that statistic, but I believe Lef, he's a smart enough guy. He said that first goal usually wins 85% of the time in Rocket League. So for teams to play, you know, kind of over aggressive when they have that first goal, there's just no reason for that statistically, which you can always rely on statistics. If you can't rely on your own emotion, you can definitely rely on the stats. This is almost the end of the game. I don't know. How much of a chance would you have given Method from here if they are able to close this one out? Oh, I think Metsa just got the weird bug where he jumps, but he lands again immediately afterwards and has to jump a second time. What do you think is their chances, percentage-wise, to win this?
I was sitting in the crowd, and I thought, like, I was definitely not even a believer. I thought, okay, Gale Force are just going to get a 0-second goal. Something's going to happen. Yeah. Because Method have really just been taking wild shots on net or punishing a Gale Force mistake. And Gale Force didn't make many mistakes this tournament. So I really wasn't banking on another game-changing Gale Force mistake. And that was really sketchy. But I thought if Method won this game, I would give them like a 15% chance to win the next series. But then I didn't have any hope for them in the next series because they'd be too tired.
Oh, they would have been horrible.
But they had to win this game first. I definitely thought Gale Force still had this.
Yeah. Yeah, Gale Force.
They had control of most of the game. Like probably 3.5, 4 minutes of this game was just all Gale Force passing, taking shots on net, keeping possession, staying in Method's half.
That was a wicked touch by Turbo in the midfield. Yeah, they're all just such well-rounded players. I don't know. Who do you think? I mean, are you the team, or G2 the team who are gonna topple Gale Force going into 2018? Because even though they did lose E-League to you guys by a game, most people would say Gale Force are the best team in the world still.
I think
although it's definitely close.
The best team in the world.
Who do you think is going to topple them?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's us, but you know, we'll have to wait and see.
All right, if it isn't you,
Gale Force have the most grand final appearances out of any team last year.
Yeah. If it isn't you, who do you put your money on? If you're not allowed to bet,
I'd have to put my money on Cloud9 if it wasn't us. But if I had to pick from NA, if I had to pick from EU, I think that's difficult. Maybe Method, but
Panda totally just jumped the gun on what would have been an open net if he just didn't drive forward. That happens so often at LAN where players just they get that itch. They're like, oh, I feel like the ball's going to be in the middle. I'm going to accelerate. Oh no, I wish I was 2 yards back. You would have had
it's like grand finals. You're 1 goal away from holding the trophy.
Yeah,
you know. After being a finalist in season 2, then not even making it in season 3. Like he's gotten so close to that trophy.
Yeah, of course, K-Dup and Panda have both been... Like, K-Dup super close. He was 1 game away. Twice. He had double match point in Season 3 against Northern. Panda was a little bit... He had the lead, actually, in the second series versus Flipside, so he was 3 games away. But both of them exceptionally close to winning. No, that's another statistic. I've mentioned this before. Oh, wow, that camera changed.
I don't know how they didn't score that. And, of course, the camera's
of course, we have no idea either because the camera's in Africa. But the other statistic that's kind of interesting is that no returning grand finalist at RLCS has ever lost. Everybody who's made a second grand finals appearance has won in that grand final. So as long as Turbo keeps making grand finals, he's going to keep winning.
The 4th time?
It's possible. I think if any team are going to go back-to-back, like actual, full team back-to-back, this looks probably more likely than even Flipside did in Season 2.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how much they keep up their practice.
Exactly, yeah.
Because every season's kind of got a little bit of a gap, and plenty of things can come up in the meantime.
I said it in Rewind, but this touch by Panda is so sick. What a mind game on Metsa. He just backflips away from it so he can follow up as well.
And then he gets in such a dangerous placement on that. Like it could be a shot, so maybe somebody might pre-jump, but it's also a pass. Panda's really good at taking more than 1 player out of the game, so long as he has boost. If Panda had infinite boost, I think he'd be the scariest player on this team.
So you think his low boost play needs work as the cloud to that silver lining?
I think it's so good that if you actually gave him what he wanted, then he'd be really scary.
People always think unlimited boost Rocket League would be really exciting. It's like, imagine the crazy plays. It would be so boring. It would be terrible.
There'd be no need for a rotation.
Yeah.
Because rotations are totally focused on boost. If you have full boost, you can get up and save a shot from midfield really easily.
Yeah.
And you're always going to be traveling at full speed all the time. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it would be pretty boring. Anybody who's unsure.
I don't know, I just keep seeing a lot of these touches from Method in the midfield, and they're just to nobody. They're just right to Gale Force. Gale Force is fine with handling the pressure, like losing the field space, but keeping possession. They're fine with that.
And they're making a lot more meaningful hits up to the backboard, which are forcing them. Magnus is completely boost starved. He's having to go on a little boost grab run, and then they switch it up. No backboard. We're going straight infield. That's the thing that they do dangerously.
Tries to hit it down. Like that was so close.
Yeah.
I don't think K-Dop even saw Panda's pass coming.
You can kind of like K-Dop's playing it a little bit safe, I think, because he's the last man back, and he doesn't want to, you know, boom the bar. Actually, no, that's not even. What am I talking about? K-Dop's not even thinking about booming the bar. He never does that. He just always hits the bar down. Yeah, crazy long overtime as well.
Another mid passer method that's just gone past their attacker.
That's great
This was, I thought, was going to be it, but I think he wheel hit it.
Yeah.
Magnus.
Metza's speed to get up for that pass was phenomenal. Who would you say? Who's your standout player on Method?
I think it's Metz.
Metza.
Although
they said
Magnus is very consistent. Like, I don't know, Metz sometimes makes those really clutch defensive plays that allow Magnussen a lot to like pass the ball back and forth.
Yeah. Like they, just those last two chances alone, they really could have been the game for Method. Really could have been. On another day, we would have seen Method score those. I didn't remember this went to 5+ minutes. I had no recollection of that at all.
Yeah, this one was.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
There was that huge. Was it 7-minute overtime in RLCS Season 2 between Panda, Mocket, and Flipside? Game 1 of the second best of 7. I'm pretty sure.
I think that there was also a 7-minute OT in Season 3 with Northern.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. Those games were so low scoring. They were so low scoring. We had
pretty long OTs at every grand final.
Yeah. Although like how like oh my goodness, nobody back.
Panda waited up there. He like hits the ball off the wall, then he's like, okay, they might boom it right back to me. Like his read on the defensive clear was so good that he almost shot it from like the corner.
I was gonna say that the sort of improved bump meta, I think, gave us some really high scoring games this season. The arrival of double touches was the most important, or the thing that increased goals. Oh, that's such a shame that that's how it ends.
I think it's because somebody didn't have boost. Oh, we're not going
to see. That feels backflip? I might be able to, hold on, I might be able to find out. I think it looked like it feels backflip.
Like, I think it was a confusion, and someone's like, okay, you go for it, Magnus. Oh, Magnus and I bumped each other a little bit, and then the person who needed the boost,
We really needed to go in K-Dop camera right here, we would see. His shot, for K-Dop standards, this is a pretty terrible shot.
But it's just because a lot didn't.
Yeah.
A lot just couldn't make it there.
It's not going back now. Are you serious? I'm going back and it's skipping forward. Why does this happen? Maybe we'll
get a highlight. Oh, wait. Oh.
Yeah, I'll leave it. I think it might have been a side flip or just no boost. Definitely no boost.
6 seconds there.
But yeah, still a great run by Method to get the revenge on Cloud9 to make the final. They beat NRG. That was revenge from Gnarly. And they're not going to be too sad about losing to Turbo, because they're all good friends with the two-time Discord partner. A lot just repping the Discord. Is that even a sponsor of Method? I'm pretty sure it isn't.
No, it's
not even a Method sponsor.
What if it's not even his hoodie?
I don't think a lot is a Discord partner. He's just cold, is what he is. Yeah,
I was cold really on that stage. I was wearing my hoodie like the whole time.
I think we'll skip this took a long time, and I am conscious of time today. Got to go get ready for 12 Titans, but yeah, again, one final shout out to Golden Boy, just class act all around. Already done this tie analysis on a different video. Of course, you always got to do that, the shirt and tie analysis.
Do you see that sign? Go back.
Wait.
It's got all the teams crossed off.
Oh, yeah. It's got NRG, G2, C9.
It's like he was so wrong.
Method all the way, Gale Force.
Okay, C9's going to win. Okay, Method's going to win.
That's so good. I wish there was a Chiefs in there as well. That would have been good. Oh, I've got to ask you last question for like a RLCS topic is, were you guys going to stop Chiefs if they did beat Cloud9? Because of course they beat NRG and they looked like they really could have beat Cloud9. Were you guys going to stop them, or was it just going to be too much that day? What do you reckon?
I think we would have been stronger against Chiefs. I think first game of the day against OC, there's always the potential meme threat of, NA losing to OC again. And we were really more nervous about that than anything. But once we knew that, like, if we just played how we would always play, we'd win.
Yeah.
I think we would have been fine in the rematch. We might have gone to 5 games again, but I think we would have been more comfortable with the rematch than the very first one.
And you did get the 3-1 win at E-League over
At
them?
E-League, yes.
Yeah, it looked pretty comfortable.
The games were pretty close, though, I will say.
I don't think Chiefs were playing quite as clean. It was a bit messy by them. But they're still a great team. Good to see them back again. What on earth is this? It's like
they chose a good highlight. Are they going to show the seating shot? Oh, yeah, this. Like, pre-jumps, lands on the crossbar. He doesn't even get the save,
that save. I think it just hit the post on the second one, but it looks like he saved it. Oh, no, it's actually Torment saved it. It's like Squishy highlight. It was a good pre-jump save initially, though. Squishy did play great on day 3. I think they purely gave him this Player of the Day award just because of his ceiling shot, and to give NA fans something. That was what they did.
To be fair, it was really good.
It was pretty good. It was definitely pretty good. I don't know. Player of the Day was a pretty weird award to be given out after the grand final. I think it could probably.
It's like they had RLCS MVP and Player of the Day, but like, wouldn't that mean that you should just remove one of the awards and then give it to the best player?
I think what it might have been. I heard somebody say it would have been for sponsors. Like, there's a sponsor like that. Did they have the Player of the Day? Was it like
Old Spice?
Old Spice player. So that's probably what it is, just to get the Old Spice sponsor in there. But you could probably just do this earlier in the day, like before the grand final, because then you don't have to have a distraction. It's like, yay, Gale Force, Squishy, Gale Force. It's a bit of a weird tangent to go off. But
their player of the day is like somebody who got eliminated first round because they played insane, but then like their 2 teammates didn't. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about him.
But yeah, it was a good run by Gale Force. I think, like, barring a last place finish at E-League, they pretty much confirmed themselves as Team of the Year with that. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see you guys take them down at E-League. I was rooting for you. I was like, more 50% because it's an underdog story, 50% because something new. It's a bit boring when the same team wins all the time. But yeah, that being said, anybody in chat got any questions for Crow before we let him go? And before I strangle Brian, my goodness. Can somebody listen? This is gonna sound bad. Do I need to run I'm gonna run another test alert. Let's see if it's silent this time. I think I fixed it, Crow.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I fixed it. Please let that be the case. Please let that be the case. But yeah, anybody got any questions? Now's the time to ask. When does Crow play? Haha. Good one.
Side-by-side comparison with you and Johnny. I don't know if we have a camera big enough.
That's true. Talk really loud. Like, you can read the chat.
Dude, everyth's nose related.
It was always going to be nose related, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, there was a fake donation, guys. It was fake. It was debate.
I love how the fake donations are always like ridiculous amounts of money.
I know. They're always so high. Wait, I'll do another one. 62. Are you serious?
Wow, giving $62 to yourself.
All right, I managed to mute Brian. Thank goodness. Right, what's the bit one gonna be? I did a test bit one. It didn't do anything.
Someone
500. Oh, it must have been so low that it didn't even trigger it. Wow.
Oh.
Low balling on the.
How I continue to play with default controls. I've just been playing like that forever. That's all. It's second nature to play in claw. It's like instead of rebinding things to be comfortable, I just keep doing what I'm doing to be comfortable.
Yeah, people, you don't have to think about what you're doing. It's not like you're playing.
Yeah, it's not like a conscious.
Oh no, I need to hit triangle with my finger. You're just playing. You don't think about what you're doing. It's your brain doing it for you. It might take longer to learn, but you've learned it. Looks pretty good.
If I'd rather have toes for fingers or fingers for toes.
Oh, that's a good question.
I'd rather have fingers for toes. You know how nimble you'd be? Because I need to play, right? I need my fingers on my hands.
That's so creepy. I have to agree with you just because fingers are so necessary to survival, but Can you imagine somebody who has fingers for toes?
Like take off their shoes at the pool, and they're just like, oh no.
Why is K-Dub not invited to 12 Titans? What's happening today is a qualifier for the last 2 spots. There's 10 players have been invited. They'll be announced later, I think next week. And the 2 remaining spots are just qualifier spots that are going to be...
This qualifier is going to be amazing.
It's going to be pretty exciting, yeah.
Like, only one person gets invited.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. One person
How many people are in it?
There's like 37 in the EU one.
Oh my goodness.
And there's 29 in the NA one. It's going to be pretty lit. Pro World of Warcraft player looking to go coming to the pro.
I have a pro tip for him. Stop posting your questions twice.
That is a good question, or rather tip.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I just said that the 12 Titans players are gonna get announced next week. Why would I tell you them right now?
This just in, Johnny Boy Gatekeeper.
That would be a pretty good turn of events. I saw somebody like tweeting. Wait, hold on. What was it? At League of Rockets. I have to read it. I don't know if people are just literally memeing me right now. Wait, where is this? Here it is. Just the announcement of this tournament. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed Johnny is streaming it. I hope in future events you let better and newer people host, like RLRS guys or Collegiate RL hosts. Johnny is very biased and slightly toxic within the community.
And slightly toxic. Wow, he's completely wrong on that. You're very toxic.
I know, he's done this completely the wrong way around. I'm not biased at all. What are you talking about? But I'm definitely toxic. That's so funny.
Oh, what an honor. Somebody guessed that I'm in the top, even though I haven't played a 1v1 on your stream in like ages. What an honor. They do realize how bad I was last time.
Yeah, Crow got first rounded. Well,
I got destroyed. I was a gatekeeper, and then I got destroyed by Lech.
Lachinio eliminated every other North American player from that tournament. He took a Dapper Crow and Squishy.
He did well.
He did pretty good. Only Scrub could stop him. Jesse's chances of making the EU spot. Oh, of course, Jesse's the favorite. No.
Yeah, just put him up against Scrub first. They'll tilt Scrub. Jesse loses the very next round, but at least Scrub will be out.
Jesse versus Scrub is the funniest thing to watch on Scrub stream. When Jesse snipes Scrub with a really, really stupid name and his car is super ugly, and then he just scores a kickoff goal and starts spamming thanks. You can see the tilt on Scrub's face. That is what I live for. It's so good. Why wasn't Pashi invited? Pashi actually just pulled out because he's jet lagged. He was going to play it today, but he pulled out. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's going to be live in 49 minutes. So I'm going to go get some stuff set up for that and just chill with you guys in chat for a bit. But Crow, thanks for stopping by. I know you're at your families right now because you're not going to be, or you're heading back to Calgary this week, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm spending some time here for my dad's birthday. So yeah, I got to go out and get prepped for that.
Yeah, you got to go get looking real damn good for the dad's birthday party. But yeah, thanks for giving up some Cam Famalam time for us. We appreciate that. The secondary Cam Famalam.
Stop.
But yeah, well, you go get ready. Again, big thanks for the analysis. It's always great talking to you about high level Rocket League. You've definitely got a future in RLCS analysis after you're done coming back and winning LANs almost a year and a half after you won your first one. So yeah, well, probably a long time then. You got some time left with Rocket League Pro play as well, I guess. Given that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
All right, bro. Talk to you later.
See you.